Hi, good evening all. I hope I'm completely audible and visible to all. Let me know in chat. Am I audible? Let me know. I'm looking at the chat and tell me, am I audible to all? Then we'll start. We'll wait for a few seconds and we'll start. Let me know. Am I audible to all? I'm looking at the chats. Let me know if you guys can hear me. So we know that like in this series what we are going to do, right? We know that. In the whole lead code series, we are planning that we'll solve at least 155 lead code questions. We already know about the topics. The topic we will cover in this series, math, which is already going on, right? We are covering as of now what we are covering as of now. Today I'll cover the question number 5, right? The question number 5, which I'll cover today. 4 questions already has been done, right? Then after math, we'll start arrays to find a lot of things which you can see in this list as well. Right. So now let's go to the lead code and we'll understand what is the problem statement is. But the most important thing before we continue, the important thing is that we'll read the problem very carefully, very carefully. Why is that? Why is that? I'll tell you. I'll tell you because you are learning problem solving. And once you understand the problem, no matter you're able to code as of now or not, but that will help you a lot in the future. As of now, if you are understanding the problem, which is good enough. The problem is guess the number. Guess the number. Okay, so I guess we'll get the suggestion here. Guess the number higher or lower. Okay, guess the number higher or lower. We'll start this now. Okay, let me know. Red and blue. Hi. Uh, okay, so again we'll read the problem very carefully and we'll see like what has been given. We are playing guess game. The game is as follows. Okay, I pick a number from 1 to n. This means we have a range of numbers from 1 to n. You have the guess which number I picked. And you know why this problem is important? This problem has been asked in Google and Apple itself. And it's a repetitive problem as well. Okay, so again, because in other interviews this can also play a critical role, and because it's one of the foundation question which I want to make you understand. Now the we'll read the problem statement again. Every time you guess wrong, I will tell you whether the number I picked is higher or lower than you guess. Okay, so means which will who will tell? A API. You call a predefined API which is guess int. So guess int is a method which is a predefined API, okay, which returns three possible results. And results are -1 if your guess is higher than the number I picked, which means whatever computer has been picked, you are guessing the number higher than that, then the API will return -1. Okay, and again, if the guess the number is lower than the picked number by computer, you'll get 1. And again, if you guess correct, the API will return 0. If it will return 0. Okay, so I hope everybody is reading problem with me. I hope everybody is reading. Here, I want some kind of interaction in the chats. I want interaction because I can't see like people are interacting as of now. Because this is live, that's why this is live. I want that everybody should have a very good understanding of problem solving, right? Okay, so now here we have given some inputs. So like how many times they have been guessed, like what was the number. So let's say computer has picked 6 and the input was 10, like 1 to 10, right? So now the guess was 6, that's what they are returning. So it's nothing like whatever number has been picked. But here, as you can see, we don't know what number has been picked. We have to find this. Okay, and this will we will solve with the help of what? This we will solve with the help of binary search. And don't worry if you don't know binary search. Okay, I'll tell you what will be the logic. So now I want to move ahead on the logic part. In the logic, what we has given, like we have told that we have a number from 1 to n, from 1 to n, right? So let assume that the n was 10, which already was in example number 1. N is 10. Okay, so now again, and pick was 6. So again, how we can guess the number between the range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Trust me, understanding this problem is super important. Okay, so try to understand this, which will help you a lot. Okay, so do understand this, the problem, what is the problem list and how you can attempt it. So again, if I want to, if I want to search in this whole series, the one way is that I can go linearly, like one by one, one by one. But what will happen when the value of n will be too large? I have to do this operation a lot of time. Don't you think? Yes or no? So can we say we can do one thing? We can divide this whole range in half because this is already sorted. Yes or no? So if we divide this whole range in half like this, and then we check by mid. Okay, I'm assuming like as of now mid is 5. So now what I'm doing is that I'm applying the logic of binary search. Like this is mid. Okay, this is mid, and I will check like if this mid is less than 6, whatever the pick is. As of now this is 6, right? Then if mid is less than the pick, will you search again here? Will you search in this range? If pick was 6, like you guess the mid was 5. So what do you think? Number will be at right side or left side? Obviously, number will be right side, because if the mid is less than the picked value of the computer, then we'll search in the right part only. In the right part only, right? We will not search. We will not search in the left one. Yes or no? And again, if this pick becomes, if this mid becomes, let's say I say 8 to you. If mid is 8, for assuming for for a minute, if mid is 8, so again, if I ask you, will you search in this range or in this range? Which range you will choose? So again, you will say like if this is a mid, and if mid is greater than the picked value, I'll search in left. Where you will search? You will search in left. If the mid is greater, you will search in left, because obviously if the mid is greater, which means that the number at the left side are in lower values, right? And pick is less than, so we'll search in the left part. Yes or no? So that was the logic of what? Binary search, which you already know, right? So that's what we will do. And again, the problem has told to us that we will have an API, which is guess API. Which is what? Guess API. And in guess API, what happens is that I'll quote the logic here for your easy understanding. They were telling like they will give you an API which is guess, which will receive a number and will give you three values: -1 when your guess number, which was mid, is greater; 1 when your guess number, which I'm assuming as of now mid, is less. Okay, and again 0 when what? Tell me what? When mid is equals to even the guess number, whatever you have guessed, is equals to the pick one, which means which one has been chosen by the computer. When this scenario is forming, when this scenario is happening, that time will return what? Will return the mid value. Okay, so now let's see how our logic will work. I'm assuming we have number 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm assuming a start here as of now. Okay, end here, because this is the end value of n, maximum value of n. And again, I'll calculate the mid. So what will be the mid value? Either it can be 5, either it can be 6, right? So you can choose anyone. So let's say I'm assuming 5 is a mid value. 5 is a mid value as of now. I'll check like if this mid is, less than what? Pick. If this mid value, the number you guessed, is smaller than the picked value, which means that we don't have to search in this part, in the left part. We'll search in the right part. Why? Because all the value in the left part is smaller than the picked value, the mid one, right? So which means that we will update our start, and the start should be where? Start should be here. Start should be here. So now start is here, and add at the on the right place. Again, we'll find the mid between 6 and 10. So I'm assuming the 8 is a mid, right? Yes or no? And which is accurately 8 is a mid. So again, we'll see like is this mid greater than the pick? Yes. If mid is greater than the pick, which means that we will not search in the right part, because all the value will be greater, obviously, right? So we'll search in the left part. So now we will search here. We'll search here in this part. Okay, so now again we'll update the end. So end will be what? Mid -1, because this value wasn't matching. 8 wasn't equals to the pick. So now we'll set our end here. Now what will be the mid value? So the logic was something like we were taking the one previous one. So now I'm assuming, let's say 6 is a mid. I'm assuming 6 is a mid. It will check is mid equals to pick. Yes, it is. We found our number. We found our number. Yes or no? Yes or no? And even if you have assumed the 7, so that time what would happen, that then that in that case start and end will be the same value, and in the next step you can find 6. Making sense to you? Yes or no? Tell me. Making sense to you? And again, trust me, this series is not a normal series. First time we are doing something great which can help you to land even any job in coding, if it comes to in DSA. Okay, so take it please seriously, because that will help you a lot in your career. So now again, and I want engagement here. I want engagement. I want that if you are getting something from here, you're enjoying the series, you should also refer this to a friend, right? Which can help them. And tell me, am I audible completely? Okay. Okay, now we'll code it. Okay, Vinay. We'll code it, right? Now I guess everybody has understood the logic. We'll code it. Okay, we'll code it. Now here, what can be the logic that we have defined, that we will assume a start value. So in the start value, okay, start value, and again a end value. So start value we were assuming from 1, because 1 to n, number is from where? 1 to n, number is from 1 to n, right? And the end value is n. Yes or no? The end value is n, because we have range 1 to n, right? Now again, I want to check. I want to check until unless this start is, when this start is less than or equals to what? End. Because that time from the starting and ending point, right? Start is not going forward than the end, because that is not a scenario to search, right? So again, what is happening, they have mentioned already that we will have a guess API. We will have a guess API. So now here I'll do what, let's say I'll give a name to it, uh, user guess. Okay, user guess, and I'll call that guess API. And here I'll pass that number. And number was what? We were assuming number will be the mid value. Yes or no? We were assuming the number will be the mid value. So I'm calculating the mid. And in calculating the mid, there is a one way. We can do what? Start plus end by 2. That is a one way to find the mid. And again, that can cause a problem, but I'll do at starting the same thing. Okay. I want to show you something. So start plus end, then I want to divide the whole value to get the mid. That is the basic logic, right? But that can have a problem. So we'll see in when the problem will come, because without problem, nobody is gonna to understand the solution. So now here I'm checking mid, right? So now the API will return what? They have mentioned that if we have guessed, like if we have guessed number which is greater than the pick. So I'm writing here mid is greater than, I'll just write the conditions only. Okay, if if what, if mid is equals to, means whatever, sorry, user guess number, because API will give you something, we don't have to implement this. So now if UG is equals to -1, which means that we have guessed number greater than the picked value. We have guessed the number greater than the picked value of computer. So in that case, what we were doing, if our guess number is greater than the picked value, which means that we need to update our start. Yes or no? We need to update our start or end. Come to the logic, right? If what, if we have guessed number greater than the picked value. Okay, look at this. We have guessed number greater than the picked value. In that case, what we will do, let's say we have guessed 8. Okay, we have guessed 8. So if we have guessed 8, right, and that is greater than the picked value, that time we were updating what? We were updating our end, right? End should come here. Yes or no? So end will be mid minus 1. In that case, not start, actually end. So end will be what? Mid minus 1, because mid value is greater. Yes or no? Now, if this not happens, then what can happen? Tell me. In that case, UG can be equals to 1, which means that what? Which means our value which we have guessed is less than the picked value. If this is less than, which means we will search in the right part, we will update our start. And start will become what? Mid plus 1. I hope you remember the explanation that I've done in starting, right? And now in the else part, what we can say, if the guess number is not greater, if the guess number is not lower, which means guess number is equal. Yes or no? Guess number is what? It's equal. So now here I can do one thing. I can return what? Tell me. I can return the mid value, which is the guess number. Yes or no? And the end, if we don't get anything, we can return -1. We can return -1. Yes or no? Tell me, we can return -1. So I guess that is a logic. We'll run this and we'll see is this working or not. Okay, and then we'll try run it as well to understand how this is working. Okay, now here we go. So judging the solution, what happened? Time limit exceeded. Time limit exceeded for very, very large input. For very, very large input. What will happen, when this starting and ending is very, very big, that time the integer overflow problem will come, which means that when the number is very, very large, that time this problem can occur. So what is the solution? What is the solution? Okay, just understand what is this problem is. Okay, just understand what this problem is and why is this coming. Okay, I'll tell you. Are we at the end of the slide? Is it so? No, we are not. Why this problem is coming, I'll tell you. Okay, so now here we go back. Oh yeah, we have skipped one thing. It's okay, fine. So now here, understand this. Let's assume that we are taking, not assume, we are taking every value in integer. Yes or no? Tell me. We are taking every value in integer. Yes or no? I'm assuming the maximum value of integer, assuming, okay, which is not true, which is to the power 31, right? So now I'm assuming that, let's say, integer maximum integer value we can store 4. I'm assuming, okay. Now if integer can store maximum 4, and if I ask you the n was 4 itself, so you can say like n can store n, right? Integer can store 4, which is true, But in our solution, we were implementing int mid is equals to start plus mid by 2, right? And start was 1. So what will happen if you will write here 4 plus 1, that will become what? If you will write here 4 plus 1, that will become 5. Only then you will divide it. Now this cannot be stored in an integer value, but everything which we have defined was an integer, which means that in that case we can have unexpected outcomes. This number will be automatically round off or will cause a problem of integer overflow. So in that case, how we can handle this? If I there is a one trick, which is this. If I write here end plus, or not end plus, I can erase this. I guess erasure, yes. We can form a logic here. And logic, if I write here start plus, look at this, listen this very carefully. Trust me, it's super important. So if I write here end minus start, then by 2, will this work? I'll erase this one as well because it's causing some blockage. Okay, so now if I write this, will this solve the problem? Let's see. Let's say our start was 1 plus, end was what? End was 4 minus 1 by 2. If you see that, there won't be any time when the value will be exceeded. So now this is 1 plus 4 minus 1 becomes 3 by 2. When you will solve this, you will take a LCM by 2 to multiply by 2. Again, what will happen? This doesn't happen in this way. You will have one thing. This is solved, then you will add it. So now I'll erase this because I will writing a mathematical operation. It doesn't solve in this way. This will solve like this. Okay, by 2. So what will happen? You will get 1 plus 1.5. Automatically, this will become what? So where we have lost. This will become what? This will become 2.5. I guess no. Okay, now we have pen. So 2.5 automatically will convert it to integer, which means 2. So there won't be any scenario. Can you tell where the guess function? I'll tell you. Don't worry. Wait for a minute. Okay. So now this value will become 2, right? Because it will convert automatically to integer. And again, if you see this statement is nothing but the similar to the previous one, but because of this trick, you will never see the value is exceeding out of the limits. Okay, out of the limits. So now here, look at this. This is start, okay, and plus this is end. Okay, actually there is no space, so I cannot write directly there. I'll erase it for a while. I'll write in a small start plus end minus start by 2. If you solve this mathematically, okay, not in computationally in computer, but mathematically, what will happen? You'll take LCM. This become 2 start, 2 start plus end minus start, by 2. If you subtract this, 2 start minus 1 start becomes start, which means start plus end by 2. The same thing we have written. But because of this logic, we will never see the problem. We will never see like integers values overflowing. This situation will never arise. This situation, this 4 plus 1, which becomes 5. Right? This situation will never arise. Okay. So now let's move to the code back again. Okay. This is live actually. This is live. Srinivasu, this is live, and after this live, you will get the recording as well. Okay, so now the problem is coming because of this. So what we have to do, we have to change this logic, right? So logic, what we have designed is the logic we have, logic what we have, logic we have here. What we'll do, that was end minus start, and then at starting we were writing start plus. Right? Yes or no? So now submit this solution. Now submit this solution. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. And whenever you get any kind of problem, just dry run it. Whenever you have any solution, just dry run it. Now it's working, beating 100%, right? Taking 0 millisecond time. And now you know why we are writing this. Why we are writing this. I guess everybody knows, right? I guess everybody knows why we are writing this. So I guess you understand the problem. Like again, the number is already sorted because they are from 1 to n. They are from 1 to n. And now again, if guess returns -1, which means we have taken number, we have guessed number, which means the value of mid is greater than the picked value, which means that there is no meaning to search in left, because all the value which come, at the left side of mid are what? Or what? Smaller than, right? So what will happen again? If we have guessed something which is greater than the picked value, we will not search in right, we will search in left, because all the smaller value are available at left. If mid is already greater, what's the meaning of searching in right? Because all the value already are greater. Yes or no? So now in that case, we will update our end. From the logic we have drawn on the blackboard. And again, if our mid age is smaller than the picked value, which means that imagine if our mid age is smaller than the picked value, there is no meaning to search in left. Why? Because all the value in the left are smaller, so the value will be found at the right. Yes or no? So we'll update the start to the mid plus 1. So now we have a smaller range. So that's how you can solve the problem of time limit exceed, and that's how you can solve this problem. I hope you enjoyed this problem. Happy weekend to all. Actually, this guess function is a API already they have given. Look at this predefined API. LeetCode has provided automatically. We haven't created this. Okay, Binay? Okay, so I hope you people have enjoyed this, and we'll keep continuing our this series. But I want engagement here. I want engagement because this series is not a normal series. It will take a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of motivation as well for me, right? To continue this in this long series of this around half a year. Very long journey, right? But I know all of you will support us, all of you will learn a lot of things, and all of you will find your careers. Okay, happy weekend to all. Bye bye. Bye bye. Happy weekend to all. I'm going to wrap the series, means this live, not the series. Okay, we are finishing very soon the math, then we'll continue with that age. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye.